Fans, welcome to this week's belated sports chat. We've had a myriad of technical difficulties that have kind of slowed us down a little bit this week, but big news to report. The Cougars brought home a big win in the friendly confines of El Hope Dawson Stadium this last Friday night against Cumberland County.
Got down early, 7-0. Cumberland County scored on the third play of the game, I believe it was. Made a big run, got a nice pass in the end zone, scored quickly. Got up 7-0. You know, seen a lot of Cougar teams over the years, they would have quit. I mean, that would have been a 42-10 kind of game.
Instead, we pulled out the victory.
And, you know, a lot of credit goes to obviously Tuffy shoots, had a huge game.
Almost 400 yards of total offense.
272 yards passing.
110 on the ground.
Rushing, two passing touchdowns and a rushing touchdown. Had a huge game. Brandon Long made big reception after big reception.
Phoenix Asher had some good runs.
You know, the defense got off balance a little bit early. Came out in the second half. Held Cumberland County to a touchdown late in the fourth quarter.
And Tyler Oaks came up big with a fumble recovery earlier.
They had a lot of forced fumbles. Had some interceptions in the game. You know, just everybody, offense, defense, they all stepped up.
And that's, Campbell County's moving the ball that well without Joe Peak at receiver. He was out in this game. Ethan Simpson is in a cast. Now, there's two really good athletes right there that didn't even play.
They will have a really good game. Tuffy was in the zone. Sometimes quarterbacks just get in that zone. Had to get a few drop balls from a couple of receivers. It would have helped him out even more. And he had a few errant passes. Tried to do it too much a couple of times, but overall, he had a fine game. Cougars defense stepped up in the second half. They had a good game.
In fact, Tuffy himself is up for some Player of the Week honors. He's running away with the WBIR and Prep Extra. And you said the Pro Picks panel has already chosen him.
The panel from Prep Extra has already chosen him as Player of the Week. He's going to be on Pilot Heroes, High School Heroes on Thursday night, I believe, on
VLT.
VLT.
Nice. Awesome. I mean, that's huge. I remember Chris Johnson won the Prep Extra Player of the Week a couple of times. And I don't know if anybody else has. Tyler Albright may have once.
It's not easy to win because every week, East Tennessee's a big area, and every week, lots of good players have really good games.
You're looking at Tuffy's going up against a guy from Maryville, the quarterback from Maryville.
They will beat Alcoa, in a huge game this week, and their quarterback, he had a couple of 100 yards passing, a couple of touchdowns, and one rushing touchdown. Not quite the game that Tuffy had, any means. He had a good game. I think he was second.
He had a good game against Alcoa.
It was a powerhouse too, Alcoa. But Tuffy's dominating. And Tuffy's stats actually sort of dwarfed it. Well, one guy had like 8 catches for 182 yards and a couple of touchdowns. That's a huge game for a receiver, but not quite what Tuffy was able to.
Nearly 400 yards.
From what I understand, he passed for 272 yards. The team passed for 572 yards all of last year.
Yeah, it's that. And he showed his versatility, 3 years running an option.
He made some just titanic runs.
There's a couple of times where he couldn't get a receiver open, and he took off running and was able to get just quite a good gain from the run.
Escape pressure, he broke tackles, avoided tackles. He's a really good athlete. And this Justin Price's system, it's important to be able to throw the ball well and be on time with your receivers, but when you have that added weapon to be able to tuck it and take off like that, that makes a quarterback really hard to stop and a team really hard to stop.
And I'll tell you right now, Ethan Miller, who is the second string quarterback, can also tuck it and run with it.
Ethan makes some run plays. I overheard Coach Price to say that he's one of their better athletes and playmakers they can play out on the field.
Of course, you had the pleasure of being next to Coach Price in the newly named Victor Jennings Memorial Press Box area.
Press Box to Victor this week, fitting honor for the man, Cougar Nation, voice of the Cougars.
No offense to Josh. No offense to Les Martin. No offense to anybody else that calls the games.
We're good friends with all those guys. Victor, he set a standard here
He did.
for years, and it's gonna be hard to match that. You know, played at Campbell County.
He bled orange and blue.
It was a fitting honor for Victor, and, you know, I'm glad to see it happen. Kudos to the,
School
people who made
board.
it happen, school board.
You know, I'm a big believer in credits where it's due. I'm very rough on the school board, and I'll continue to be very rough on the school board when they do things wrong.
You know, it's really nice up there. The new deck's nice.
The
cover.
new deck, it's good.
You know, so we did end up standing beside Coach Price's game. He's very animated. Very
You were
fun.
kung fu fighting with it one point, weren't
He
you?
gets pretty excited, gets fired up, jumps you, kicks you.
But you know, that's great to
I
coach.
was pretty excited myself up there too. Coach Parker, he was up there as well, calling the defense, helping out with the defense, helping out Matt, you know, telling him what sets and what was going on. You know, Matt and Justin called a really good game. Matt did what, especially Matt got his defense really going well.
The adjustments he made at halftime won the game.
You know, I mean, Cumberland County,
I mean, no, not taking away Tuffy did a lot to win the game too, as did Brandon Long and several others. But Matt's defensive adjustments were huge.
Cumberland County was having trouble, or not, Cumberland County was having trouble stopping Cumberland County in the first half. And Campbell County got all the momentum, and Cumberland got just a momentum draining touchdown right before halftime. It looked like. And it looked like that was just going to be one of those crushing kind of touchdowns to take the lead back from Campbell County. Campbell was 20-14 at the time. But Campbell County came out with a minute to go in the half and got a pretty good kickoff return, and were able to move the ball, get down toward scoring range in that short period of time with this new offense they had. And that sort of shifted the momentum right before half back to Campbell County when it didn't look like it was going to be that way.
And I got to say this. Now, they missed their first extra point,
You know?
but they hit everyone after that. And that's pretty big for Campbell County. We've not exactly had Titanic kicking games.
You know, they got in position, come out the second half, traded off punts, and then Campbell County got the ball and scored the next two touchdowns that were scored in the game. Campbell County scored them. And it took away, you know, pretty much all the momentum. Got some big turnovers on the Cumberland County in the second half, and you know, Cumberland had the late touchdown with about a minute to go in the game, but it was over at that point. All Campbell County essentially had to do was kneel and run the clock.
Right. I mean, we were able to actually go into victory formation, which is another thing you do not see a lot at Campbell County. I mean, it's been a long road getting here.
Now I'll say this too, you know, there's going to be bumps through the season, and as you know, Matt, he said to us after the game, he said, Cumberland County's not the best team we're going to play this year, but this is just a huge win for the program, and that's the truth. You know, it's a huge win for the program, it's a huge win for Matt and Justin and the rest of the coaches and all the kids up there.
I tell you, that's big going into Anderson County Week.
You know, everybody get out for this Anderson County game. Get
Now,
out.
and you know, I talked about giving credit where it's due. We talked to school board member Johnny Birch, who also happens to be the Follett Recreation Director. He's bringing in the 200-seat portable bleachers from the rec center to sit in the end zone.
I believe he said the students were going to be allowed to sit in that section. So, you know, it's going to be a crowded house. It's going to be a hot ticket. So get up there, get out, get your ticket. Make sure you get in there.
You know, it's
Even with those 200 extra seats, it's a big rivalry. Anderson County, they're 0-2, but they've lost two really close games.
they lost to CAK, who just crushed Lexington Christian.
Now, CAK is a very good team. They're 2-0. And, you know, Anderson County was tight with them in that game until the Lightning delay. And then they come out and had a 1-point loss to Grace Christian. I know from seeing Grace Christian in a 7-on-7, they're really good. You know, they're 2-0 as well.
Right, and you know, Grace Christian's they're a team on probation right now, and they're still good.
It's going to be a tough game. It's going to be exciting. It's a big rivalry game. Then you have the added fact that Matt and Justin were just at Anderson County last year, and they left that coaching staff. Now, that coaching staff's a superstar coaching staff now, but it's feeling in trouble.
Yeah, I said Troy Fleming of
Tennessee,
Tennessee Titans fame is on that staff.
He's on the staff. Maryville's former state champion head coach is on the staff.
Davy's a great coach.
You know, it's a great staff, but you know they're feeling the loss of the Price twins. You know, they're struggling a little bit this year. I'm not saying they play two really good teams, but They were expected to be really, really good this year, and I still think they're going to turn around and have a good season.
Well, I do too. I mean, we got to see a little bit of them in the Jamboree, and they're
a good team. Anderson County traditionally has a great program.
right. Of course they played Wartburg in the Jamboree, and Rodney was talking about how well they executed. No, Wartburg played both of them. Wartburg played two.
I didn't see that part.
And also,
And we were in the process of leaving at that point.
Also, Anderson County is going to be coming up here. Honestly, they're going to be looking for a big win, not just a win. They're going to be looking for a big win.
And let's be honest, Anderson County considers Campbell County its weak sister.
Yeah.
Always has on a football basis.
Honestly, that's about the way it shook out on the field most years.
Right. Josh Parker on Twitter has been posting football facts. The last time Campbell County beat Anderson County was 1992.
My senior year.
That's the last time. So, do we end an almost 20-year drought this weekend? Guess we got to go to the game and find out.
I think Campbell County will come out, and hopefully be able to move the ball again. Hopefully not have turnovers, and hopefully the defense is settled in.
Yeah, that's the big factor right now. What's the defense going to do starting out?
And the big, Campbell County has certain advantages in this, and the fact that the Price brothers have coached at Anderson County and know what Davey Gillum is thinking a lot of times.
Know the system. I mean, they're still running.
Yeah.
Davey also has the advantage that he knows the system obviously well because they ran it. He's ran it for years.
That's the system he played under in college, pretty much. I mean, in all honesty, to bring up Jerry Minot, basically the system he ran, he coached with Gillum. He coached the Prices.
But, one thing I can guarantee, it's going to be an exciting game because, Campbell County, it's not the Campbell County you're used to seeing out there, folks, believe me. It's not, hand it up, pound it to the middle, pound it off tackle. It's wide open. The plays may work and they may not work, but by gosh, it's exciting one way or the other.
It's true. This is an offense. The year with Chris Johnson and Brant Steiner was a good offense. But this offense is so fast-paced. It's no huddle.
The difference with Chris Johnson and Brent Steiner's year is they relied on Chris Johnson hitting home runs every once in a while. The offense would struggle for 2 downs, and then he would take off and have a 30-yard run on third down.
Right.
It didn't have consistency like this one seems to have.
Right. And then, of course, you had the Science Hill game that year, which was Brant's coming out party. And that was the year that was the game that, we saw, wow, Brant's can really play some quarterback. But this team consistently just has such an arsenal to throw to. You've got, we mentioned Brandon Long. Middle, he's basically the Michael Irvin of the team. I tell you, Nate Rudball, if Brandon Johnson's the Michael Irvin, he's the Alvin Harper of the team. He's that guy you go to when, they've obviously started shutting down Brandon Long. Of course, there's some other, Isaac Phillips had some very good receptions. Corey Phillips had a couple good receptions. There's good receivers there.
And I'm not sure Cumberland County hasn't had the strongest defense over the last couple of years, but they've always had a powerful offense. From what I can tell from their scores, they average 20-something points a game and had a lot against their 35, 40 points. Anderson County this year, they scored 20 and 21 points in their 2 games. So against very good teams. And they gave up 21, I think 48, 47, something.
Right. The CAK game, it was a blowout on paper. It was a lot closer to the lightning delay, though.
you know, they may be having some defensive issues. Maybe those two teams. I'd say from 7-on-7, Grace Christian had a good passing attack. Campbell County actually played them in the 7-on-7 league.
And pretty much every throw is a potential first down or touchdown.
I mean, they were hard to stop in that. So they're a good team, but you know, Anderson County may be struggling a little more on defense this year than they normally do. Their offense seems to be doing pretty well to score over 20 points a game against some good teams. So Campbell County's going to have its hands full on both sides of the ball. You know, like I said, I expect it to be exciting.
Well, it will be exciting. It will definitely be exciting. Fans, we're going to go ahead and wrap this segment up. We're going to come back and talk some more. We'll talk about college and pro football. Opening weekend for UT coming up. We'll be right back.